Welcome back to Old Dogs. And you might be bummed to see that last time we promised you that our comrade Capel would be back. And maybe he might be back, Keelin. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm not getting my hopes up yet. He's left us hanging too much, Hunter. I got to see it before I believe it next time.
He is like Santa Claus. I'm gonna have to see him to believe that he exists. We we had a plan and Capel was a part of that plan. And then he texted us and said, "Oh, I got a meeting. I can't come." To which I felt like we had a very valid idea to bring his boss onto the podcast with him and ask his boss some would you rather questions.
Or no, oh yeah. So like we were looking at another date, and he thought he was gonna have to like it was a job interview. How great would that have been if he'd be like, okay, like you're gonna talk to like my upper management, and it'd be me and you running the meeting.
That would be the best rated
Oh,
podcast we possibly
it's
had because
so
we would
good.
ask them the would you rather questions we've had saved up and they would be mortified.
Sprinkle in some like professional questions, and then just be like, would throw in like the would you rather's, and they'd be answering like super serious. Oh man, we gotta set that up.
Would you rather be 2 feet taller or 2 feet shorter?
Yeah.
And explain what you would do the first 2 weeks on the job.
Yeah. Let's go right into that. Oh
So
man.
Cable might be joining in live. We don't know. We have no idea. He said he might hop in, so it'll be a pleasant surprise. And we're just gonna roll with it. He's our brother in arms. However, if he keeps doing this, auditions will be posted onto Facebook, and we'll ask would you rather questions to our applicants, and whoever answers the best can join in
Only
Cable's
way to
spot.
do it. That's right. New dogs.
So I wanted to kick off with a story from this morning. So every day I either play basketball at 5:30 a.m. or I go to the Y around 7 a.m. and I work out and I do the steam room, shower, go to work. And that's kind of my routine. And this morning when I was in the steam room, I'm usually up by myself, and I walked in and there was a kind man with Down syndrome sitting in the steam room next to me and we're talking. He asked what I did for a living. So I said, I'm a pastor. And I said, do you go to church somewhere? He said, yes. We were talking about it. And I kid you not, I closed my eyes for 3 to 5 seconds, maybe 3 to 5 seconds. When I opened my eyes, Keelan, he was gone. So, like, I was either talking to a figment of my imagination or
No
a real
way.
life ninja. No
No
door
way.
opening sound, no foot pitter patter sound, no goodbye, nothing. I opened my eyes and he was gone.
Wait, so I've been in steam rooms before, and there's some like you almost can't see well. Was it like one of those, or was it?
No, it wasn't that bad because I didn't crank it up so high because I didn't know what he wanted. I didn't want to like smoke him out. But now he might not have been real, so
Just gone? Man, so wild that you're. If by the off chance he wasn't real, that your brain created a person like that. That would be so weird.
I
Did you
I
ask him
kid
his
you.
name? Did he give you a
His name
name?
was Nick. I kid you not. We had a full conversation, but I closed my eyes. This is not an exaggeration for the
Just
podcast.
gone.
I've exaggerated before. I closed my eyes for 3 to 5 seconds. No sound. When you open doors in those sauna steam rooms, they
Yeah,
make
you kind of
sounds.
know. Yeah.
And you hear like a grunt when people get up, usually, or a goodbye. I opened my eyes and he was gone. Not a trace.
Man, yeah, it's. I mean, 3 to 5 seconds is. I mean, it's enough time for him to get up and out the door quickly, but without making a sound. Yeah, I don't know, man. It may have been the old noggin playing tricks on you or something. I don't know.
It's like in the old Call of Duty game where you could earn badges or something, and he had the silent feedback.
Whoa!
I'm here.
Oh
Hello.
Well,
my
well, well.
You just missed a good one,
God.
Cave.
Cable, Henshaw.
My
in
goodness.
the flesh.
in the
Let's go and
flesh.
introduce yourself.
What's up, guys?
I
Where's
feel
your
like this is a
interviewee at? Man, that's so good.
What I
Hey,
miss? What I miss?
So I'll run it back here real quick. We talked about you again. We were questioning if you were real. We told the people our idea to have your interview on our podcast. We thought that was a very good idea, and we should consider that. We bounced between would you rather's and real questions. So, what would you do your first 2 weeks? Would you rather be 2 feet taller, 2 feet shorter? And then that sort of thing. And we thought that was adequate. Keelan's reception is a little iffy, so we got to pause a little bit when talking to Keelan to give him time to respond. He's dealing with the storm right now.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we talked about the first topic, Capel, to which I'll let you respond. I was at the YMCA this morning, sitting in the steam room next to a man with Down syndrome, had a great conversation. I closed my eyes for 3 seconds. I opened my eyes and he was gone. So I was either talking to a figment of my imagination or a real life ninja. You've caught up.
Wow. Okay, I missed a lot. You could have just had like too much time in the sauna or steam room, and you were just
So,
seeing things, and you came out. Just heat
so
exhaustion.
what I was saying, like some of the steam rooms, like they get like really steamy, you almost can't see. Hunter said like no, it wasn't like that. And then I thought it was pretty odd that his mind, just in case, just by off chance that he was imagining it, that his brain created that type of uh, person to like entertain him. But I don't know. We may never know. It's
I,
speculation at this point.
I love how Keelan is just stumbling around trying to be politically correct. He's just tap dancing around,
It's just
falling
so
over.
odd. It's just so odd, but it's really funny. It makes for a good story.
Capel, do you have any thoughts before we get into the heart? Like we're doing Pat McAfee style, where you're joining from the car, which I think is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, I need a cigar
You
though.
need a
I told you
stogie,
yesterday.
man. Yeah. Get some stogies on here one day.
Do you have anything to say to our fans who have missed you for 3 months?
Yeah, give us an update, Cape.
In the world of, as Hunter loves when I say this word, in the world of intercollegiate athletics, you hit some busy months. You got some peaks and some valleys, and I was in a peak. So it's good to be back, taking a breather, hopefully.
Is
Deep
it
breath and go ahead.
is it valley season or are you still in the peaks?
Well, I was going to say peak. I see peak as the good season, valley as the bad season.
No, no, I just think like I mean that as kind of busier hours or like I don't
Yeah.
want to say
More of a
time
grind.
commitments, but
Yeah. More of a
yes.
grind.
So like kind of the intensity ramped up a little bit. Um, might come down a little bit as far as like the events go. Because I oversee some fundraising events. We're kind of going to hit a gap in there in that area, which is nice. But men's and women's basketball is starting next week, so we'll be kind of back going strong with that. So, but I'm back. I'm happy to be back. I've been tuning in. Appreciate the shout outs.
Can you give us any thoughts you've had from episodes like you were listening, you're like, I'd like to say something about that. Is there anything you can think of?
What was the top? There's been a couple things, Hunter. We were like, man, we need Capel to like be
Well, the
the
would you
deciding
rather's
I need
factor
to
in
be the
this.
really needed
moderator.
Capel. We
Yeah, we
really
definitely
needed
need.
Capel during those.
There's something on.
Well, you need me because I can help us move on when it's time to move on.
Yeah, we tend to stick around too long and beat the beat it till it's dead.
I texted you guys in the group chat. I'm trying to get a book deal up in here so I can't get canceled. We've got to keep it clean here.
No, we're not
Well,
gonna do that.
I was the last episode, I was mowing the lawn, and so someone was probably like driving by wondering why the guy's laughing mowing his lawn. That was me. So,
So it's small world, Keelan. By the way, I had a friend from Springfield move to Evansville and
Hmm.
text me and said he met Capel. Isn't that wild?
He had no idea, like prior to that.
Well, you guys met like casually. You met his wife first or something like that?
yeah, I ran into his wife, and she was telling me who her husband was, and I'm like, wait a second, I know who that is. and we played college basketball against each other for a few years. So, but I forgot he was an Evansville native, and they moved back. So
That's wild.
crazy, small world.
He's a stud in our pickup games. He was the only guy over like 6'3", and he just dunk on all the old people, and you just throw him up an oop, and you dunk on him, and it has leveled the playing field. Him being gone.
He had some years, like he played professional a little bit. I think he
Yeah.
still plays, just pick up here and there, but I don't know if I'm at that level yet. If I'll get the call to play in his league, I need to work on my
Well,
game. I've played one time in the last year, one time.
Oh,
that's
man.
one of the biggest disappointments that I have in you, that you've given up the game, man. So sad.
Still got the love for it. The body just doesn't move as well. So
Basketball is definitely, I'd say besides golf, maybe for me, but basketball is definitely the funnest sport to like just go and play. Even at our age now, it's so fun to just shoot a ball around or play pickup.
I agree. I had a hard time when I graduated college of playing with people. Like I was like a full speed. Like if I'm playing, I gotta go hard.
Yeah,
And I
that's
had
all
a
I
really
got.
hard well, I had a really hard time adjusting to like playing pickup basketball and
Like casual.
just kind of yeah, and which I could adjust to it, but if somebody started to ramp it up or I took an elbow, it's like, all right,
Yeah,
then the intensity kicks up. So
that makes sense.
I don't know.
I'll tell you guys this. I'll pat myself on the back. I'm dunking again. I
Are
feel
you
good.
really?
Again,
Yeah. Yeah. At tail end of high school, I could dunk, and then now, probably last year, I just got back into it.
did you I don't remember you dunking.
Not in a
Me neither.
game.
Did Sterling dunk in a game?
No.
No. But
No.
he was like a
No.
practice dunker guy too.
Okay.
I can
I
remember
mean,
that.
by the senior year, I was 6'3", 150 pounds, so it wasn't that hard.
Yeah, wasn't a whole lot of
Floating.
mass moving there.
Are you a two-hand dunker or what are we?
2 feet, 1 hand.
Oh, okay.
2 feet
That's
one.
tricky.
I can't do 1 foot launch. I can't do it.
Which is weird because you're so long and I feel like that would be the easiest way for you to dunk.
Yeah, yeah. I tried to dunk on someone in pickup last week and scared the tar out of me when I was in the air. I was like, I'm not doing that again. Speaking of, we got to get to the point of this. This actually has something to do with our conversation. So I texted you guys a couple weeks ago, and I said something that I knew was going to irritate Keelin. I just knew it, and I said, even though hitting a baseball might be the hardest skill in sports, I feel like playing baseball is the easiest professional sport to make. It's the easiest sport to all encompass play. And I know that that triggered some conversation in the text chain. And I know that seems odd. How can the hardest skill be in the easiest sport? And I would say, because it's just one skill to get good at. Like if you incubated myself for 12 months and said you need to get better at any single sport. In basketball, I'm already out because I'm 6'2", 175. Like I've got to be 6'6" plus or the fastest human being in the world to play guard. Football, I've got no shot physically. I'm not gonna get there physically. Soccer, I thought about other sports, but baseball, I know it's the hardest skill, and I know it's going to tick a lot of listeners off, especially the baseball guys. But I feel like if I
He's
isolated
biting the nails.
myself,
He's biting his
No,
nails.
no,
He's
just
ready.
keep going. No, no, I
if
like it.
I isolated myself, and I'm going to let you monologue and then
Yeah,
Capel,
no, that's fine.
if I
Yeah.
if I isolated myself to get professional ready in one sport in a year, I know it's the hardest skill, but it's one skill. And then after I can hit a ball, that's it. Like in basketball, I got to play offense, defense, be 6'6", jump out of the gym. I got to be able to do everything. Football, physically, I've got to be there. So that's how I landed on that. And Keelan is just chomping at the bit.
So
So I'm going to
so
let him
wait,
go.
wait. The way you preface that, I'm pretty sure like the first thing that you said in the group chat was baseball is the easiest sport for like a high schooler just to be able to play, right?
Yeah, that's what I led to. Like it is the easiest sport overall to play.
So that's false. But what you just said, I don't disagree with. So you're saying like, so I'm gonna go back to the high school thing. But what you just said, I don't disagree with because like you've probably reached like pretty close to your full potential or like within reasonable means of like baseball or football and basketball, like where you're at this point. Baseball, like there's a lot of room for improvement in that. So you would probably like I'm not saying to play professionally, but I'm saying you would maximize you would see increased gains in like your skill in baseball in the next 12 months if like you compare that to baseball, football, or basketball. Where I highly disagree with you on like a high schooler like just going in and saying, okay, I got let's say a 6 foot, 175, decently built guy. Really no pre-exposure to baseball, football, or basketball. You're saying that baseball would be the easiest sport for him to just play. Capel,
Sure.
what do you think of that?
Um,
Before I
yeah, I think we
tear him
have to.
apart.
I think we need to have a better understanding of the question here
That's what I'm
because
saying because there's
the
levels to it.
easiest
Like
you've also have okay. If I'm a high schooler, what is the easiest sport? Let's say you took someone that never played a sport. What's the easiest sport like team they could make? There's one argument. Then you have being good at that sport. And I guess
right.
you can define good in many ways, but
Let's say excel at. Let's say like in my scenario, you get a 6 foot, 175, decently built guy, no pre-exposure. He's a sophomore in high school. What's the easiest sport he could excel at?
well, I don't know what our options are, but if we
So
go
I'm gonna rule out like cross country
Yeah.
and stuff like
okay,
that. Like we're gonna go with like team sports.
okay. So my thought, and I'll first tell you what I think, and then I'll tell you some reasons behind it. Number one, I think football, because of the positions, requires the least skill. Um, where there's positions where you don't have to catch or throw, or some you don't have to tackle either. So I think there's that allows for a variety of opportunities to maybe excel, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah. No,
Where
I'm right there with you on that.
I mean, if you're saying you're gonna pick a kid up and they're gonna be the quarterback, or
Yeah.
that's a little different.
Yeah.
So basketball and baseball, I think, require a little bit more skill, where you can't just rely on maybe pure athleticism in those sports as much as you would with football. And I'll tell you from experience with baseball. And I played baseball growing up. Did not play in high school. I ran track. Um, but I can remember in college, I was doing an internship at a baseball facility, and they had obviously all these pitching machines. Well, they had this really cool one. It was like a video, and it looked like a person was throwing it, and it came out of like almost like a projector. There was a hole,
Yeah.
and there was some downtime, and I hadn't picked a bat up in a long time. It's like, man, I'm gonna take some swings and get in here, and I could control the speed. I could control the type of pitch. So I'm like, all right, let's just take some fastballs here. Started at like 60, hit a couple, and 70, 80 got a little bit tougher. But like, I know there's not a lot of high schoolers throwing 90, but once you see 90 come at you, like you barely have enough time to react. I could
Yeah.
barely hit the ball. It was like on bench warmers where I tipped it and I'm like, I tipped it, foul tip.
Yeah.
Um, and then you start talking about movement, and that's just a whole nother ball game with pitch movement. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's
I
hear
will
some
say
thoughts.
so when you before Hunter goes real quick. All I was gonna say like 90 when you get to like college, like upper level college, like you're gonna see 90 pretty frequently, and like the more you see it, like it's nothing. It's not like insane. You can kind of like adjust to it. You got time to like decide if it's a ball or strike. 95 plus, you don't. It is so freaking hard. And if there's a little bit of movement, like I don't know how I mean, there's guys all the time now throwing triple digits on TV. Like I don't know how you hit that. Like
Well,
you,
I saw Chapman in the playoffs through a sinker
yeah,
that was like 100 miles per hour, and I'm like,
dude,
hold on a second.
you don't hit that as a hitter. You just got to be like, all right, I'm just not swinging. Wait,
But
okay, yeah, let's hear it. Yeah, what? How's that easier than basketball? So much easier.
but but I can be 5'4", 150 pounds and still play.
Play
I
what?
can be whatever size. I can be completely in high school. I can be completely unathletic. I've seen the most unathletic kids make and play baseball teams. I think our bias is that Harrisburg baseball is awesome. So in order to make Harrisburg baseball team, you have to be great. The baseball teams I saw as a coach, I feel like any kid in the high school could have walked out and just been a baseball player because they weren't fielding great athletes. Now you could say the other side could say I could say that about any sport. However, you still have to be at least physically fit or taller or something like that to play a basketball. A football, you have to be tough enough to do it. Like in theory, and this is going to really piss you off, in theory, I could stand at the batter's box and watch pitches go by and get walked. I don't got to do a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Well,
I
that's
so
that's gonna maybe help you one time. That's that like if we're talking like excelling at baseball, like that's not gonna. I could like basketball, like basically what I did in basketball. Like I never shot. I just passed it. Like I didn't like put a whole lot in the scoring column, but that was the way like I kind of hid. You know, the same thing you're
but
saying
you
with
were
like
really
baseball.
athletic. You were athletic. You're a Division One. If you're a Division One athlete, I don't care what sport you're playing. You can play almost any high school sport if you're a Division One athlete.
I would exclude baseball from that, man. Like
I've
I don't think I could like Kevin Durant could hit a baseball. Like I just don't.
well
He may
then,
be able
but
to
that
like
What a
I'm saying
stretch.
I don't know where he came from. I don't even watch basketball, but I'm saying like a 6'7" like basketball guy like hitting a baseball like those guys look really goofy,
Can you
extremely
imagine
goofy.
Randy Johnson pitching to Kevin Durant? That would be awesome.
No,
see, I've
no,
got a
that'd be
hot take.
wild.
I've got a hot take. If Kevin Durant was
You're full
pitching,
of hot takes.
if Kevin Durant was pitching, he'd be about 4 feet from the plate when he released it.
Okay, that's false. I'm gonna find something for you. I'm pretty sure he threw out the first pitch at a game and it was atrocious. My dog let me while I'm on this,
But
so keep
But
going.
here's the deal. Here's the deal. Like
Like,
a Division One baseball player is going to be like an athlete enough to compete in basketball, but may not be like a great shooter or ball handler or something. But his athletic nature is going to cause like some sort of success and make a team. So I feel like anyone playing Division One sport could hop into the average high school and be a great player in any sport. We're not talking about like the top 1% of high schools. We're talking about the everyday high school where they've got some kids who are good and some kids who suck. You're going to be able to play at that high school if you're a Division One athlete at any sport.
Be able to play, sure. I agree with that. What's there's but I'm still like trying not to be biased, but I still like disagree with you that like a Division One athlete in any sport like could play or it translates to any other sport. I think baseball players have the leg up against other sports that they could play any other sport better than other athletes could
Do
that are
you
going
think
outside of their sport.
do you two think a Division One tennis player could play high school baseball?
Yeah,
Cable?
probably.
Do you think a
just
Division
off
One
the
tennis
fact of the
player
similarity of like the the sport.
Do you think a Division I tennis player could play football or basketball? So that's what I'm saying. It depends on what
No,
your
yeah, I
background
mean,
is.
yeah, no, you're right. Like a little bit. I'm saying like if you're not looking, if you're looking further out than like the specifics, I think baseball player to any other sport, they're gonna be better than like a football player in any other sport as a whole.
Yeah,
Here, wait,
yeah. Capel,
let
I'm
me
gonna.
follow up. Let me give you like a like what I when we were talking about this the other day in the text. This is what I was thinking about. So like the reason baseball is so stinking hard, like aside from like what Capel said with like just the reaction time of it in basketball, relatively every court and rim that you play on is going to be about the exact same, right? Like it's indoors, you don't have like these other variables, like it's going to be almost exactly the same. So like whether you're playing in Chatham or Harrisburg, like the sport doesn't change much. Like it's just you shooting a basketball, you shooting a basketball. And like yeah, like practice like translating to a game is always different. And Capel's gone. Um,
Sorry.
That was Kayla. That was Capel's quick stint on the podcast. He'd had
yeah,
enough. He was
and he's
done.
gone. So here I'll wrap it up fast. So baseball, the only reason it's like just looking at it like kind of superficially, every pitcher hitter like it's gonna change every time you play. Every ground ball you get, it's gonna bounce differently than the ground ball before. Um, wind, weather comes into play, like the rotation of the baseball, like those variables like changes all the time. So it's harder to get better at that because you constantly have to change for that. And that's what I was telling you, Hunter. Like I think you would get much better at baseball faster than any other sport because like you're way down here right now. Like the more you play it, like you got a lot of room to make gains just because it's just one of those sports like it just takes time to do because you don't get good feedback. Basketball, you shoot, you miss a shot, it's like okay, like I think I know what I did there. Let me try this. Let me try this. Like baseball, you don't get that immediate um you don't get that immediate like feedback of like what you did wrong, I guess. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean that does make sense. I think with us with a sport like baseball, with the skills you need to be a good baseball player, like you said, I think when the ceiling, when it when you're working with somebody that does not have any of those skills, maybe you can build those up. Like Hunter will
Right.
see a pretty quick growth in there.
And every now and
But
then you'll see like a freak that just like is able
yeah,
to do it, That's not saying there's not those outliers, but
Capel, I'm going to read off the Instagram poll real quick, and I wanted your thoughts on this because I put one on Instagram, and my Instagram is not basketball people; it's just anyone. X is like strictly basketball people, so I went to my non-biased platform, and I thought for sure. So I put the options: football, soccer, baseball, basketball,
wait, say
and I
say
said,
the say the question again, yeah.
which sport would be the easiest to pick up for a high schooler that has never played before? And I thought for certain it was going to be soccer. I really did. Um, but football finished the highest percent at 40% of people, which really surprised me. Capel, did that surprise you?
that does not surprise me. And I think soccer, the coordination factor with soccer,
Yeah.
and I guess I'm used to seeing soccer at the collegiate level, and being able to run, start, stop, and not use your hands for
Yeah.
anything other than the goalkeeper is pretty difficult to do. So I'm not surprised that I guess that was below football.
What was the order, Hunter? What was the order of the
Football had 40% of the votes. Soccer had 30%. I'm rounding. Basketball and baseball were tied at 15%.
That's crazy. I would I mean, I'm like Capel. I would say baseball is the hardest one, but like soccer would probably be a close second for me. just from the fact of like, yeah, you got to like go from a dead sprint to essentially catching a ball out of the air with your foot and then continue going and like minimize speed
But
loss. Like
I
it's
I think
crazy.
I think the part that we're missing though is we're assuming the talent is high. The average high school, I know you guys are removed from high school. I'm not as removed from high schools. The talent at most places is subpar to average. You know what I mean? Like, so to play soccer, there's kids playing soccer that at my last school and other schools I've seen that are not athletic at all.
No,
It's
I
we're seeing it as like this high level we have to be great, where the average high school is not that good.
yeah. Yeah,
Well,
I guess I mean I soccer may honestly, and that's when the question like comes into like the detail of it. I think soccer may be the easiest to play, but I think to excel at like, and I think that's what I'm thinking of like which is the sport that I can excel at the quickest. I think soccer would be pretty tough, but probably the sport to just play. Yeah, like all of us can play soccer.
I think some things we might be leaving out. We're talking about like skill and athleticism, but I think one thing that would be really difficult for somebody trying to be good at basketball that doesn't have much of a background is the pace is a little bit different than some of those other sports. And so the decision making aspect of a sport like basketball, where you've got a half a second to make decisions, and other sports too, but it's like a half a second, then another half a second, where like you have sports where I think football, you play for 5 seconds, then you take 30 to 45 seconds to regroup. And baseball, similar way, you pitch. All right, now you got a few seconds to think and prepare. And basketball is a little bit different, where it's just kind of nonstop until there's a stop and play. There's a nonstop decision making factor that I don't know. I think some maybe don't
I
think about.
I would argue that that's like that faster processing time would make some like a guy that's like a good athlete that picks up on stuff faster like that would be easier for him to get better because of that like turnover time, you know, like, and maybe I'm
Yeah,
sure there's a
yeah.
learning curve to like processing it, but like I know, just being biased again from like a baseball player, like when you strike out, like you got almost an hour to think about like what happened, and your brain can like put different stuff in your head that didn't work. Like basketball,
I think
like
that's what drove me crazy about playing baseball, and maybe
oh
that's why it
god,
didn't
it's
work out.
terrible, man. It's terrible. I do not miss that part of it. What's up,
But
Hunter?
the good thing with baseball though is you play so many games. So you have a bad game, you're
Yeah,
playing tomorrow. You're
you
playing
got a
tomorrow.
turnover. Yeah,
Football, you have a bad game, you got to wait 6 days. Basketball, you get
yeah.
sometimes a couple days.
What's up, Hunter?
Can't I say that's why it's easier to play baseball? You have to do good once an hour.
Oh my!
Yeah, but you also have to do good once an hour. If you don't do good, like you're gonna be
What
screwed.
if I said you only have to be good once an hour, and in other sports you have to be good
That's
every
false.
3 seconds? Wouldn't you
That's
say that
false.
is part of the argument?
Yeah, no. The volume of like how you're the volume of if you're doing good or not in basketball is substantially more like I can screw up 4 times in 5 seconds, but like make the next 3 shots, it's wiped out. I
Let's
mean, I
talk.
know like the whole
Let's
like
talk
if
about let's talk
like
about that though,
so like
because
what's a good shooting percentage? What's a
that's
like
I wrote this down. I
yeah,
wrote this down. This was my
yeah,
next point. If I was in a court of law,
yeah,
in basketball, you have to be able to shoot 50%.
yeah,
In football, you need to be accurate 70 to 90% of
yeah,
depending on position. Baseball, you need to be accurate 25 to 30% of the time. So your skill
yeah.
mastery requirement is lower.
But that's why it's so hard. That's what I'm saying. Like it's so hard to get any more than the three to hit 300.
You know
If you
what?
hit 300, you're a
I,
really good hitter,
you're in the
especially
Hall
in
of
the
Fame.
MLB now.
If you're in the
Yeah,
MLB and you hit 300, you're a Hall of
yeah,
Famer.
yeah.
I'm not taking sides. I'm just thinking, saying what's
So you only
going
have to be
forward.
good a third of the time.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta like produce. If you so let's say this, Hunter, you get to play one full MLB season, like starting next year. The World Series is almost over. You get to play a full season. I would put my life savings on it that you don't get one hit. You don't touch a ball.
I understand that, but
So like,
what if I got to practice for an
if I had to
entire
play an
year?
NBA, what's that?
What if I got to practice for an entire year? Do I have to do it now?
You can practice for, yeah, you get an entire year of practice, like up until the
Okay,
season.
then I
You're
might
not
get
touching the
one
ball.
hit in an entire
No, you won't.
162 games times three at bats, and I had a whole year to train. I might get one hit.
I no, you won't. You just won't.
But
If I
I know
played
what
an
you're going to
NBA
say
season,
next.
I'm gonna score some
You could make a
points.
shot in a basketball game,
Oh
but you
yeah,
could not make a shot in a basketball game with an
yeah, I
NBA
would.
player guarding you.
Yes, I would.
With an NBA
I'd
player
score some
guarding you,
points.
you're not even getting a look. You're not even getting you're not you might not even touch the ball.
There'll be like, if we can do some screens and stuff, like they can get me open. Baseball, you
No.
don't have that. It's just
No.
you. I
So
guarantee you, I'd score some points in a
if
season.
if Giannis and Antetokounmpo is guarding you, you're getting a basket.
No, that's just one game though. I'm just not gonna score that game. I'm gonna get
Hunter,
Every
if
single
somebody.
team's got a good defender.
I'm gonna get a fast break or something somewhere. I'm gonna get something.
Hunter, how many? If you played wide receiver in the NFL next year, how many catches are you getting?
I'm terrified, first of all.
He may get a catch every now and then,
Well,
but
it
you can get
depends because
lit
like
up.
Bubble screen.
Yeah,
football
that's what I'm
games,
thinking.
you can get the ball on like a screen or something, but
Yeah,
I'm going to die.
yeah. You're not getting a first down.
No.
Hunter catches and
No.
runs out of bounds.
I would just go to the ground and I would get like 3 yards. Win for me.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it's that easy. Those
Could
guys
you
are
get a
nuts.
could you get 1 yard on a carry?
Yeah. Get the right offensive line, like they'll just open the hole for you. You can fall forward.
It depends what team you put in behind.
That's what I'm saying. You get the right offensive line.
I don't think people realize how hard it would be to get a yard even because you have to have a burst and see the hole.
Well, I'm saying like 5 yards. Like to get 5 yards, like
But at
you're
least
not doing
like
that.
Keelan has experience. He's done that.
That's what I'm saying.
If
Like
you put
I'm gonna get
somebody in there that has never
destroyed.
run the football, they would be clueless.
Yeah, I don't think you probably can get 3 yards. You think you get 3 yards, Hunter?
On a if there is like a
Handoff.
soft zone and
No,
there's a screen.
You're running back. You're running
Oh
back.
no.
I don't know,
No.
man. I think with the right offensive line, like you're gonna at least get to the line of scrimmage, and you could fall a yard or two, but you're gonna have to find that other yard somewhere. That's it's gonna be tough. Those guys are.
I would do one of those offensive line leapovers for like a first down and just
Oh,
pray that someone doesn't rip
dude,
my neck off.
they will rip your both of your arms and legs off if you try that.
Oh man.
Uh,
Well, I think we settled it. And if not, Keelan, can you see my screen well?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So
Cable,
it's
can you see
settled.
my screen
Baseball's the
well?
hardest. Like,
Hold on,
Yeah.
Cable, can you see my
Yeah.
screen well?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys can both see my screen. If you're listening on the audio, you're going to miss out this demonstration, but I'm going to show you why my argument wins. Ready? I just did the baseball skill. I hit a ball with a stick.
yeah,
There you
but
go.
you threw it to yourself.
The best, you know what would
If
have
I had a
been
piece
great
of
is
paper, I'm gonna throw
if
it.
you
Like I got a trash can right here. I could throw
if
a paper
if
wad
you
to a
missed
trash
that,
can.
that would have been the greatest video
Easy,
ever.
easy. Gosh, I wish I had paper right now. So dumb. Nobody's gonna agree with you on this, Hunter. Capel's
I
just
got a
trying to be the mediator here.
Capel, you've missed out on this segment for the last few weeks. And before we go, we have a quick segment.
Of course,
Um It's not that bad. The first would you rather, it's not that bad. Would you rather your kids get all 4 years of your high school life on film? So 24/7, they get to see anything you did in high school. Or you have to become like overly obese, like hugely obese.
like permanently.
Yes.
I mean, not permanently,
Mhm.
but like I just have to like I gotta be like 300 pounds.
Sure.
I can lose it if you. Oh,
I'm taking the high school footage.
yeah, but I don't know.
This was mainly for Keelan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like to think if I became obese, I could lose it. Let's do that. Let's go with that.
What's
I'd just rather
what
not.
skeletons are in this guy's closet?
I mean, I'd rather not like have my kids be exposed to everything that 15 to 18-year-old Keelan Rash did. What's your answer to that, Hunter? You got to have the same answer as me.
No, give him the film. I was boring in high school, man. I didn't do nothing. I did nothing.
I mean, we did. I don't know.
There was some simple
Yeah, you're
debauchery,
probably right.
like poop on the porch or something, but like video game, they see a lot of video game content. They'd
Yeah.
see some runs to Buffalo Wild Wings, um, which I still don't look at it the same way. The last time we went, Keelan and I had like 30 wings each, and we couldn't drive home. We just sat in the parking lot in my
Yeah,
truck
we
for a while.
OD'd.
It's like sick.
Just have something that you would not want your kids seeing you did in high school. I'm gonna
I
think
mean,
of it.
there's
That's going in the
definitely
group
something,
chat. I'm
but
gonna figure it. I'm gonna think of something.
there's
Yeah, I
something,
don't
but
know.
I
I'd
would
probably I'd
rather
probably be okay
explain
with
it.
it. Yeah, I'd be okay with it. I could justify it. It's like, here, look, here's what I did. Don't do that. There you go. It's a learning situation. Yeah, you're probably right.
It's
Let's
also
not go with the
different.
obese.
It's different if you have to watch it with them. So,
Ooh.
Yeah, I
because
think
you
yeah,
could just say, "Here, take it."
yeah. Just take it. Do with it what you want. I'm not talking about it. No, I see it as like a learning situation. Yeah, I'm probably taking the give it to the give it to the boys.
Capel, have you missed this?
It's been good,
That's
man.
a good
It's
one.
good to be
Yeah,
back.
that's a good one.
I'm gonna get to bottom of what happened to me this morning, and I'm gonna do some soul searching and see if that was an aberration or if I was hanging out with a real life ninja. Um,
Yeah,
because that
you gotta be on the lookout for old Nick. Too wild. I mean, you got to see a guy like that again. Like, how big is this YMCA that you go to?
it's in Springfield, so it's pretty big.
Okay,
Pretty
yeah,
big, I bet. You never know, though. Usually, people go at the same times.
it's
That's
true.
true. Wait, hey, what are you doing for with the kids for Halloween?
Gosh, we've tried to like narrow down what they want to be for the longest time, and their answer flip flops like every other day. So it's between a superhero, a ghost, and a skeleton. So we're getting two of each of those because whenever one puts one on, they're gonna fight. So we've got to have two of everything. So we've got six costumes coming in. What
I
about you
actually
guys?
feel that. I feel that the younger one always wants to be what the older one is, no matter if they have the same one or not.
Yeah.
Griffin's between Pikachu, an Ohio State football player, and
Ooh,
Mario.
Pikachu.
Um,
Nice. It's kind of
yeah,
a throwback.
yeah. No, Pokemon's all the way
I
back for
know, but
kids.
I was a Pokemon guy. That's crazy. Like it's still like relevant,
Back.
Yeah,
like cards and stuff, right? Like, does he have like
Capel, do you
cards?
find yourself looking at Pokemon very often?
I never had any interest in Pokemon. I'll
Hmm,
say that. I just
man,
know I don't know why. I never had one card, and then it was interesting when
different.
it came back though, like a couple years ago, and it was like they had the app, right, where you could
Yeah,
walk
Pokemon
around and
Go.
find.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
think that's what probably sparked it back up.
Well, we do have to get going, but I'm glad we found Capel. I was worried about him. I was wondering if he was okay, and we have video evidence that he's back. We don't have to do auditions for his spot anymore. Um, if you enjoy the Old Dogs podcast, give us some conversation topics for future podcasts, send them to any one of us. If you have an idea for a surprise guest or something you want us to talk about, rate the show, review the show. And I would say see you guys at a certain time, but with our third
It
tire on the
is.
tricycle, the trike may not get to the destination on time, so we'll have to see Anything on
Get
the way out,
out.
guys?
Only thing I'm gonna say is after people listen to this and they can once everybody agrees with me that baseball is um the most challenging sport, that to let you know that. So I'm not the only one giving the rebuttal. So that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Hey, if you listen, send in your thoughts, comments um, on what Keelan said. So
That's right.
it's good to be
That's right.
back, baby. We're back.
Yeah.
It's
Just felt
it's
right.
good to
I
be
feel
Felt
like,
back.
you
right.
know what I feel like? So one of my favorite sports talk shows is Pardon the Interruption. And it's always depressing when they take that long break in the summer because they have like the US Open or whatever tennis is
Yeah.
on. And so they take like a week or two off and then they come back. Well, no, it's longer because Little League World Series too. So I feel like Tony Kornheiser. I'm back. I'm out of the basement and I'm ready.
You're like one of three people in the world that's in their 20s and watches that show. So
No,
I'm
it's good. I
glad
like
you
it.
enjoy
I
it.
got it all. I like it.
I feel like they just I don't know. I like their perspective on things, and I don't think they're doing anything for clicks or views. Like they're just literally
Seems
talking
genuine, right?
sports.
Yeah, we don't do that either. And speaking of, next week we'll have more Would You Rathers. And
You know that's gonna be there.
all right, guys, we got to get out of here.
All right.
Shout out Shawnee Performance and Rehab. We'll see
That's
you
right,
guys
baby.
later.
See ya.